Good, good. And obviously I think there's been more news which come out today about the unfortunate circumstances surrounding Australia, obviously with the wildfires and what's been ongoing in more recent times, loss of human lives, loss of hundreds of millions of wildlife, forestry, people's homes, vineyards and so on. In your opinion, is there a genuine issue with global warming, the likes of what Greta Thunberg will talk about? And if so, how can we make that change?
I think everyone's got to do their own little bit. I think my family's been doing that for generations already. So, we've got sections of our property that we've actually created as nature corridors, so wildlife can actually move through it. I suppose we look at the environmental impact of what we do. I was sort of talking before about our organic vineyard, and our organic vineyard most probably uses slightly more water than what our traditionally grown, what our traditional vineyard is actually using. So, is organic better in that circumstance because it has a slightly higher environmental impact from a watering point of view, which is quite an important issue in Australia as well. But I think really it comes down to the management of our natural resources as well.
Yes.
200 years ago, the Aboriginals would have lit a lot of small fires every year, clearing out different areas, and you wouldn't have these big wildfire blazes and things like that as well.
Okay.
So it's now getting to, people don't want, and it's a big issue doing these controlled burns, and you only get a very small period of time, generally in sort of April and May, to do these fires before winter sets in, and reducing of the fuel load in some of these areas just wasn't done and completed in time, or they haven't been aggressive enough to do it. So then when you get a dry fire sparked on a hot day, you get these mega fires as well.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a climate change skeptic. The numbers are there to say, we're increasing carbon into the air and things like that, into the air as well. But it's not fair to blame one country or another country that's not doing their thing. We're getting a little bit political now, but for me, I think if everyone can do their own little bit to help, whether it's just recycling, and that's where coming back to our compost that we're putting onto our vineyard, using that recycled green waste from Adelaide, I think that's us doing our little bit to help. We haven't sort of done the numbers on what we're doing, but we'd be fairly close to carbon neutral on our property. I know that's a big credential for a lot of wineries to sit there and work out the numbers and be carbon neutral as well, knowing that when a bottle of wine arrives at your place, that all the thought about the environmental impact and the carbon footprint of that product has been taken into consideration.